Everybody and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. Write them off at your peril. The All Blacks are into the World Cup final with a massive 44 points to 6 victory over Argentina. What a performance from the All Blacks. A bit woeful from Argentina, but all of a sudden we've got potentially clear favourites in going into that final. But New Zealand are back and well and truly back, to be honest. They were really, really good form coming into this game, having beaten Ireland. But there was a certain amount of Argentina could do something. Argentina could be competitive. Argentina had beaten this New Zealand side. Argentina just didn't arrive tonight. And it's sad. I think, the effort it took for them to come from behind to beat Wales last weekend proved too much at the end of the day. By the time they got you could see they were kind of dead on their feet quite quickly. And just too many human errors, missed tackles, bad defense, and very quickly New Zealand took this ascendancy to the game. And I think that Argentina could have been a bit more brave, and I think they could have made it a bit more competitive at times. But I think at the end of the day they weren't good enough, and this New Zealand side, which are world class, they really are. As much as we've been dismissive of them over the years, and people have even gone as far as label them the worst All Black side ever, it's a good All Black side, and this has proven just how good they are. So before I sort of break the game down, please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. It all started very early on with an early penalty from Mariano Feli in the 5th minute, but a first of 3 tries from Will Jordan in the 11th minute really started things for New Zealand. A conversion from Richie Mwanga, and then another try 5 minutes later from Geordie Barrett. That shifted the momentum. 12 points to 3. Arsenal was still in the game, though. They were still around, and Buffetti got a penalty in the 31st minute. I felt they should have been braver at that point. I thought at 12 points to 9, go for a scrum, go for a line-out, for example, because they can see a 2 soft try. New Zealand were finding line breaks. New Zealand were finding ways through, and my gut was saying that Argentina can see more points. And I think if it got 12 points to 10, for example, that puts a lot more pressure on New Zealand than 12 points to 6, because again, 31 minutes. Minute they butchered the kickoff, a great kickoff from Beauden Barrett. They win the ball back, and another penalty, and they cancel it out all of a sudden. And they re-established that sort of 9-point lead, and then bang, Shannon Frizzell went over in the on the halfway mark at 42 minutes, and that was kind of, I think, the sucker punch. I think if they'd gone in at 12 points or 15 points to 6, game still on. At 20 points to 6. Not quite game on. And then the only way they were ever going to be competitive in the second half is if they scored first, and they didn't do that. Aaron Smith went over in the 42nd minute, again a bit of a soft try. Richie Mwanga with the conversion. Shannon was on the 49th minute, another conversion, 34 points to 6. Then they empty the benches, and then 62 minutes Will Jordan, and 73 minutes Will Jordan with a brilliant individual try. He has matched the all-time, the individual World Cup try scoring record. And the question is, can he break it? He'll need one try next. He should have broken it, actually, to be honest. Richie Mwanga could have given it to him out wide. It would have been a sure try, and he actually should be sitting here as the record holder for the most tries in the World Cup. He's got Richie Mwanga to thank for not being there because he just didn't pass the ball. But in terms of the stats, let's have a look at the stats and sort of see where the game was won and lost. The defense, the discipline for Argentina wasn't good enough. I think they conceded 7 to 8 points in the first half. If we look at overall, 10 penalties conceded by Argentina, and 6 by New Zealand. If we look at set pieces, for example, lineouts, 1 lost by New Zealand, and 2 lost by Argentina. 2 steals though from New Zealand though. Defense, 49 tackles missed by Argentina of 192, which you can never look at necessarily. Missed tackles is becoming a bit of an arbitrary stat because defensive systems these days, especially modern defensive systems, rush defenses, bank on missed tackles almost to a certain degree. It's about sort of slowing the momentum. But these were the wrong type of missed tackles. These were simple one-on-one tackles. These were line break tackles that Argentina were missing. And that's why it was far too easy for New Zealand to get through. New Zealand kicked a lot from hand. 32 kicks from them, gaining 980 meters. 9 kicks to touch, for example. They really backed their set piece. They were phenomenal off the back of the scrum. Their rolling more was really good. They had 90 carries over the gain line, more passes. They beat almost twice as many defenders, twice as many offloads. The mauls were brilliant. The rucks were good. New Zealand were pretty flawless, if we're going to be perfectly honest. And you look at some of the leading, performers. Thomas Gaujo with 19 tackles, but Richie Mo'unga running 103 meters. Artie Severe with 10 carries across the gain line. It was brilliant. It really was amazing. I mean, you look at the meters carried. Will Jordan, Mark Talaia, and Richie Mo'unga, Burton Barrett, all combined for almost 300 meters combined across the four of them. So averaging at about, like 70 meters odd, for example. And, from a defensive perspective, this is where Argentina they're just worn down. Marcus Kremer and Thomas Gaujo making, 19 tackles. Marcus Kremer missed 6 tackles, so he had to attempt 25 tackles, which is a huge effort. But shout out to Jordy Barrett and Shannon Brazil also, making a lot of tackles. Jordy Barrett was very, very good there. From an attack perspective, I thought that Argentina were a little bit blunt at times, got a lot better as the game went by, but that rush defense in New Zealand was really impressive, and a couple of big individual performances. For me, they kind of go into the final. We'll have to wait and see what happens tomorrow, but they've got momentum. They also you can take their foot off the gas. They actually opted to finish the game with 14 men and leave Scott Barrett off the park because they could. So yeah, they're going to be very fresh for next week. I think a bit fresher than tomorrow's team, depending on what happens tomorrow, because they weren't made to work as hard. But let me know what you thought about the game down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve. I'll chat to you soon.